I am Bethany Rose. I'm from East Tennessee, and our business is Buchanan Pump Service.
Great. And how long have you been in business?
50 years.
50 years.
Long time.
How many team members do you have?
Around 90.
Okay. And what's your top line revenue?
30 million. How do I get my branch managers to focus on a company mission instead of their branch so we can make them eligible for a seat at the table in our C-suite?
Great. How many branches do you have?
We have 3 branches.
That's a really cool question. Let me think about that for a second. All right, how do I get the guys running the branch to think about something other than the branch and think about the good of the entire company, which gives them the opportunity to be at the leadership team table at home office? You tell them every day that that's the requirement. Look, you got confused when you took the branch. You thought that meant you had to make the branch work. No, that's just part of your job. Your whole job includes now thinking about the good of the whole company and thinking what we call, at Ramsey, we call it globally, meaning you think about more than just your area. We think about the whole company. And so how does this affect when you take this action at the branch, how does it affect the whole company? And oh, by the way, look at the whole company as if you're an owner. Look up, you stick your head up out of the silo and look around at the other areas and start asking yourself, what are they doing better? What could we as a whole company do better? What could we as a whole company do worse? What are we doing in the branch that everybody could learn from other than just our branch? And, but just let's just start talking about this until they're sick of hearing you talk about it. And about the time they're sick of hearing you talk about it, they heard it. Until then, they never heard it. Because right now, what you've got is you told them to go run those branches and kill it, and they did. They did what you told them to do. And then you went, oh, we probably ought to do this. Yeah, well, you need to add that to the plate now. Okay, I want you in the C-suite. I want you to someday be one of the top leaders in this company, and you cut your teeth in the branch. The way you get there, the path to get there is to think globally, think about the good of the whole company, not just your branch, and be talking about that and asking questions about that and personal growth in that area, and so that you become qualified to make the move up. Otherwise, you're stuck in the branch because all you know how to do is run the branch. You're stuck. And I don't want you stuck. You're too valuable to get stuck. And so this is how it's not a one-time conversation. Like every week, we talk about it all the time. In 2012, we formed an operating board and put our C-suite and our business unit leaders on the operating board. There's 10, 11, 12 people in the room at that time. And we told all of them, your job is to do your day job, meaning run your business unit or run your C-suite, and as a group, run this company. So if you're the chief financial officer, your job is to ask questions about what the marketers are doing. Because you're on the operating board, that means you have to think globally. And your job, if you're in the in one of the business units, is to be looking at the chief marketing officer, the CMO, and say, why are we doing that in marketing? I don't understand. Or I looked over there at so-and-so in marketing, and they don't seem to be working. They seem to be sitting on their butt. And you help run the whole thing, even though it's not your thing, is part of your job description, your KRA, when you're at that level. You think globally and you get your day job done. And you just got to communicate that to them over and over and over and over again. Oh, by the way, I started that in 2012, and it was probably 5 years before it was doing it. And these are top-level, world-class executives. These aren't starter boys and girls. These are getters. And it was hard to get them off of their thing and to back their eyeballs up and look at the whole thing and quit just managing their area, quit just leading their area. It took 5 years, and we talked about it out loud all the time. But they were so good at their particular discipline in their particular area that it was very hard for them to let their foot off the gas even a little bit to change some of their calorie burn over to something else and look at the whole good of the whole company. Today, It's almost gone too far the other way. They spend all their time on the whole company and not enough on their individual areas. It's almost shifted too far. It's not, but that's kind of what we're talking about right now at our place. So you're not going to fix this in 5 days. The problem wasn't created in 5 days. It's going to take months before they start recanting it back to you, because you say the same thing over and over and over again until they get frustrated hearing it, and then they actually do it. And because you've got to reset their brains, you've got to do the wiring in the brain that you set up to run the branch. Again, we start with honoring the quality of work they're doing in the branch, but for that reason, I think you're valuable beyond just the branch. And so I want to teach you how to get to the big boy table, move from the kids' table into the parents' table at Thanksgiving, right? And so how do you get to the big table? Well, here's how you get there. You got to think about the whole thing, not just your branch. Oh, by the way, it's now a requirement for you to think about the whole thing, not just your branch. Oh, have I mentioned that you have to think about the whole thing, not just your branch? Oh, yeah, you remember the whole thing? You got to think about that, not just the branch. It's all the time. And you become the chief repeating officer, the CRO. And you'll get there. You'll get there. The other thing you could do, and I don't think you should, but I'll throw it out as an idea in the mix. You could change their comp. If they're compensated off the branch only, then they're going to keep working for the branch only. But if they start getting compensated 80% on what the branch does and 20% on what the whole company does, then they start to be concerned about the whole company. And how people's wallet gets fed keeps their attention, I'll tell you that. So you could do that. I might not do that initially. You may want to get there eventually. But initially, I'm just going to start it with the CRO, the Chief Repeating Officer. That's a cool question. $30 million, 3 branches? Good job. 50 years, I think she said. Wow. Pretty impressive. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.